Hi there. So before we continue creating our character, I'd like to drop a challenge for you. What I want you to do is to pause the video and see how you can create this mouth variations. You can start with the first mouth and then create the second mouth, and then you can place that in the face group so we know that we're true with the mouth. Because we have one mouth here, we'd like to have two additional mouths. So go ahead and pause the video and try to see how you can create the mouth. If you cannot, we'll go ahead and continue. So go ahead and pause that. I'm going to wait for you, and when you're done, unpause the video and continue. Alright, so hopefully you've paused the video and you're back, and we can actually look at the steps to create the mouth again. So I'll just close this, and when I'm done, I'm going to put everything I create and put it back in that group. So let's start with this mouth over here, the ones that's actually open. And what I want to do is actually, if we look at this, you can see this is just a rectangle. So we can actually get away by creating a rectangle, or for short, I'll just use the pen tool and create points, just sharp polygonal points, where I might even ignore this edge here and then go over here and just like that, boom. Now I notice this might be a little bit thick, so let's see if it's the same size we've used to create any part of our character. So I'll just go to the face. I'll just select basically any shape to make sure we're actually consistent with our size. So that's 2, and this is 2, so we're actually good to go. So what I'll do now is switch over to the node tool, and here at this point I'll convert this to a smooth path. You can actually see how that looks like, and I'll drag this one down, and then all these points I'll convert them to a smooth point like that. Convert to smooth. I'll just drag this to the right a bit and drag this down. Convert this to a smooth point as well. Just drag it down and play with that Bezier handle. I'll convert this edge to a smooth point. In case you do that and it kind of like misaligns your design, just grab one of the Bezier handles and just drag them till you find something quite nice. And finally at this point, I'll just convert this to a smooth point. And you can actually see we're good to go. We have a nice little mouth shape. So for the teeth, I'll pretty much do the same for the teeth. I'll just draw a nice shape like that. That looks like a trapezoid. And I'll just go over here and drag this down. And I can even just move this outside because I don't necessarily need to see that. And that's going to be for the teeth. Now for the tongue, you guessed right. Now there are two ways you can do that. You can either use the pencil tool, but I just literally like using the pen tool for basically everything. So I'll just do a nice triangular shape, go to the tip, convert to a smooth point. And this time around, I'll use Alt, so I'll just zoom in a bit. And on these Bezier handles, I'll click on this handle and hold Alt and kind of like just move that up like that. I'll do the same here and just drag that a little bit. And I'll just drag this point down. And that's going to be our tongue. But now what you actually notice is it's actually outside. So I want to mask everything to this initial parent shape. To do that, I'll just go here and drag this and just release. Make sure it's moved to the right a bit and just release that. So now you can see we have a mouth group with this curve in there, and I'll take the tongue and drag that and place that in that group as well. Like that. So you can see the tongue is clipped here. I'll call this mouth 2. Mouth space 2. And this is going to be our teeth. And this is going to be the tongue. Like that. And for this mouth, what we can do is to just fill this with a black shape just to see what we have here. So I'll go to the fill. I'll go to color and I'll just use this black fill, and automatically we can't see anything. Don't worry. So for the teeth, let's use the same color we used for the eyes. So I'll hit the eyedropper tool and sample this. But for the tongue, let's use something different. Let's try using a, let's see that. Let's go back to the move tool. Let's just try, let's go to color and use a nice little reddish tongue. I think that's fine. So the HSL value is S100L71. So saturation 100 and black, or the lightness, is 71. If we want to add a nice little variation, we could just lift that up a bit. And there you have it. So that's a basic way to create the mouth. We can do the same thing here using the same process to create the mouth too. Let's quickly do that. So to create the mouth too, I will start by using the rectangular marquee tool and then dragging that like that, just to get a fair and rough representation of that size. And I'll get rid of the fill so I can see through it. And now I'll use the move tool to move around. So I'll just drag it around here, kind of rotate it, and I'll convert it to curves. Now that we've converted to curves, we hit the node tool, we can have some of these points, we can move them around, make this slightly curvy, push this edge, push this one in here. Just basically do the same thing here and try to make it closer. Trying to make this slightly curvy like that. And if we actually want, we can leave it like that. But actually notice these edges are going to be a bit angular. So you can select an edge and hold shift. Select these 4 edges. You can see we can select an edge with shift. And I'll convert this to a smooth curve. And now I can just adjust and drag this point till it looks fairly representative of what we have here. For this, I'm going to fill this with white, but before then, I'll just draw a few lines and then kind of make them curvy. So I have 1 point, and I'll just hold Control and drag this till I have a nice little curve. I'll click away and then create another curve, hold Control, drag this here and click away, create another curve, hit Control, drag that towards the right a bit. And then we can finally add one here. So if you hold Control and click away, you're going to end the curve you create. So here, I'll just drag this point here and then drag this curve downwards a bit, like that. And we'll just drag this one down, like that. So now what I'm going to do is to make sure all these are clipped within the mouth 3. So I'll hold this one, hold shift, click on this and hit Control G. And here in this group, I'll just call them I'll say mouth 3 lines, because these lines are supposed to be in the mouth 3 lines. And now that I have that, I'll call this mouth 3 shape and hit enter. Now I'll drag the entire mouth 3 lines into the mouth 3 group, so we have that mouth 3 shape. And what I'm going to do is to fill mouth 3 shape with this white color. So I'll hit the eyedropper tool and sample this, and see we have our mouth 3 shape. We can just drag that over there. And to test that, we could take mouth 2, hit the move tool and then drag that over here, and you can see we have a mouth now. It looks like she's talking and saying something. We can drag that away and put it way back here, and let's take the mouth 3 shape and put it over here, and it looks super weird. Basically like she's opening her teeth. But excuse me, it looks super weird like that. So I'll just drag this and leave the smiling mouth. We can group all this together in the face. So I'll drag mouth 3 and just literally place it somewhere here. So now we've actually created our mouth 3 shape. Let's go ahead and save the project, and I'll see you in the next lesson.